On April 24, 1993, Indian Airlines Flight 405 begins what should be a routine domestic flight from Delhi to Srinagar. The Boeing 737-200, carrying 141 passengers and crew, lifts off into the clear morning sky. Among the passengers are 4 men who will soon turn this ordinary flight into a nightmare. Just 40 minutes into the journey, as the aircraft cruises at 29,000 feet, one of the men suddenly stands up and rushes toward the cockpit. He's brandishing a hand grenade and is quickly joined by his 3 accomplices, who reveal pistols hidden beneath their clothing. Captain S.K. Mehta remains outwardly calm, but knows he faces a critical decision.
Redirect the aircraft to Lahore, Pakistan.
The aircraft has enough fuel to reach Lahore, but landing there would mean putting the plane and passengers under the control of a potentially hostile nation. The hijackers grow increasingly agitated, repeatedly threatening to detonate the grenade if their demands aren't met. In the cabin, flight attendants quietly move through the aisles, reassuring terrified passengers while carefully observing the hijackers' movements. The lead hijacker maintains his position at the cockpit door, keeping his grenade visible to ensure compliance. 2 others patrol the aisles, while the 4th guards the rear of the aircraft. After intense negotiations conducted through the cockpit door, Captain Mehta convinces the hijackers that the plane must first land in Amritsar for refueling.
Fine, but if there's any rescue attempt, we'll kill passengers.
The hijackers reluctantly agree, but warn they'll kill passengers if any rescue attempt is made. As the aircraft descends toward Amritsar, Indian security forces quickly mobilize on the ground. The plane touches down at 11:45 a.m., and a tense standoff begins. The hijackers allow some passengers to disembark in exchange for fuel, but keep most on board as hostages. During the next 3 hours, Indian negotiators attempt to resolve the situation, while special forces quietly position themselves around the aircraft.
Tell them to hurry up with the fuel or else.
At 2:55 p.m., with negotiations deteriorating, the hijackers force Captain Mehta to take off for Lahore. Pakistani authorities, already alerted to the situation, initially refuse landing permission. As fuel levels become critical, they finally relent, allowing the aircraft to land at Lahore International Airport. The 20-hour ordeal finally ends on Pakistani soil when local authorities storm the aircraft after lengthy negotiations. All passengers and crew survive, though several suffer from the psychological trauma of the experience. The hijackers surrender and are taken into custody, later to face trial in Pakistan. The incident leads to significant changes in Indian aviation security and highlights the growing threat of terrorism in South Asia. Metal detectors and enhanced screening procedures become mandatory at all Indian airports, and Sky Marshal programs are expanded. Flight 405 becomes a catalyst for improved international cooperation in aviation security, particularly between India and Pakistan, despite their otherwise tense relationship.